is delivering speech number 5 from the Competent Communicator Manual. Her goal is to use body language to enhance her speech rather than detract from it. Her speech is entitled, Take a Risk and Live a Fuller Life. Heidi Jaeger.
How many minutes? 5. I just said
Yeah,
that.
5%.
Let's say 6. Taking a risk. Taking a risk is relative. There is so much advice I've seen in the last few years, mainly on the internet, about how we should all live life more fully by having adventures. And typically that advice implies you're not really taking a risk unless you're risking your life. If you're not rappelling up a mountain, you're not skiing down a mountain, you're not surfing in Hawaii, it doesn't really count. I'm not one of those people. I'm never going to do those things. Well, ski down a mountain, yes, but the rest of it, no, probably not. But it's relative. And any time I or you step outside our comfort zone, we're taking a risk, and we are living life more fully. A few years ago, I was feeling a little bored. Life was getting a little routine, and that's not a bad thing, especially if you come from years of chaos. Routine is comfortable. But in comfort, I think there's stagnation. And I discovered meetup.org. And I don't know how many of you have heard of meetup.org, but it is an organization online. You can sign up for free. You list the activities you either enjoy doing or you think you might enjoy doing, but maybe you have no one to do them with, and you don't want to do them by yourself. And amazingly enough, after you list all your activities, hiking, biking, kayaking, surfing, mountain climbing, skiing, going to the theater, going out to dinner, brunch, within hours, invitations start coming to you from people you have never met in your life. So therein is a risk. Are you going to say yes? One of the first things I did, because it was something I was interested in and had never done and had no idea how to do it, was rowing on the Great Salt Lake. And this was not an old wooden rowboat. This was one of those sleek sculls where 4 people sit as a team. And you're on these little benches that every time you row, you push back. It's actually like a rowing machine. My fear was, having used a rowing machine, I knew I couldn't last longer than 20 minutes. And when the coach said, we'll be going out for about a couple hours, I thought, I'm never going to make this. But this is what I learned. You work in teams, and you're never all rowing at the same time, unless you're in the Olympics. And then you're going like this. But most of the time, you have numbers, 1 and 3. First guy, one of the middle people. 1 and 3 are rowing, and 2 and 4 are sitting there. Then 2 and 4 are rowing, 1 and 3 are sitting. We take turns, and we enjoy the glide. And I actually survived the 2 hours and had a wonderful time. It was a great experience. One can build upon the risk. One of the first hikes I went on was with a group I'd never met before, went on a trail I'd never been on before, and had a wonderful time. The person who led the group was very concerned about our safety, about making sure everyone was having a good time, could keep up, and was very knowledgeable about geology and history of the place we were at. It was a wonderful experience. I'm not going to say they were all great experiences. I once went on a moonlit snowshoe hike up Big Cottonwood Canyon, again with a group, didn't know anybody. Here's the thing about full moons in Big Cottonwood Canyon. The moon doesn't really come up till about 10 o'clock at night. So we were hiking in the dark, basically, because the hike started at 6:30. The person leading the hike may have been knowledgeable. I don't really know, because once he strapped on his snowshoes, put them on, got himself ready, looked behind once, and and took off sprinting up the side of the mountain. I never saw him again. I did end up hiking with a group, though, about my speed. And so just to let you know what that speed was, one of the guys with us had flown in from LA that day, had spent the day skiing at Alta, was slightly overweight. I really thought he was going to have a heart attack and die before we finished this hike. So we all hung together at the end, and after about an hour decided we were tired of this hike. We sat down on the trail. Somebody pulled out a bottle of wine. Somebody else pulled out some cheese and crackers. And we had a little cocktail party. And waited for the rest of the group and the leader to come back and pick us up where we hiked down the trail with them. It was a wonderful experience. I've got zip lining. You know there's a zip line in Provo Canyon. It was so much fun. I've gone river tubing in Idaho. I haven't been river tubing since I was in college. And frankly, that was the most terrifying experience. Again, with a group of people, we put in above a waterfall, and I had all this peer pressure encouraging me, pick up my feet, hang on tight, let go, and just go over the top. I couldn't say no. I couldn't get out. There was no going back. I'm here to tell you, I did it, I lived, I survived, and it was so much fun, I did it again. So if you feel like maybe it's time to take a risk, and actually everybody here at Toastmasters has taken a risk, and Karen, welcome, you took a risk this morning just by showing up. Frank took a risk by being here this morning. Get outside your comfort zone, try something small. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be life-threatening. Maybe you need to start with just driving a new route to work. That's a start. It can only help. It'll all be for the good.